Welcome back to New Rockstars. It's me, MT, and Moon Knight Episode 3's ending has huge consequences for the MCU as a whole, as the moon god Khonshu appears to have casually sent the entirety of MCU Earth back in time a couple of millennia to help Steve and Layla stargaze like they used to when sarcophagi were all the rage. But what could these consequences mean for our upcoming Phase 4 MCU titles? Well, lucky for us, we are the Speculation Nation, are we not? So, all aboard everybody, because the train is about to leave the Speculation Nation station, my nerd babies. Because the sheer gravity of this last Moon Knight episode needs to be explained. But hey, before you do that, make sure to check out our new latest obsession, Moon Knight shirt. It is not going to last forever, so head on to newrockstarsmerch.com so you can pick that up before it goes away, because Khonshu, he really wants his shirts. He's like, alright, I'll let you guys have a little bit, but you know what? If you don't keep it taken, I'm gonna bring it back to the moon for me and Captain America. We're gonna wear it ourselves. Now, before we talk about the consequences of Steve and Khonshu's sky turning, we should probably talk about what the hell is even happening in this scene here. So to recap, Moon Knight Episode 3 has Yatzil, the human avatar to the Egyptian goddess of love, music, and the sky, Hathor, telling Mark that Arthur Harrow's long sought after tomb of Ammit was marked by an ancient magi named Senfu like 2,000 years ago, according to the nerdy Steve Grant.
A magi named Senfu. He was tasked with recording the location of the tomb in case the gods ever changed their minds and decided to show mercy.
Senfu marked that tomb like 2,000 years ago, and stars drift over time. Not much as far as stars go, but it can mean the difference between us searching miles and miles away from where we're supposed to be looking.
But in order for Steve and Layla to get the exact location of Ammit's tomb, they would need to use the constellation map that they found inside Senfu's own coffin with the night sky as it was those 2,000 or so years ago in the past. But here's the thing, you can't just have the sky be exactly the way it was 2,000 years ago when you want to, especially considering how over the centuries, stars flicker out and die. Even to this day, a lot of the stars that we see in the sky have already died thousands of years ago. And the Earth, as Steven puts it, drifts off a bit. So in order for the light from the stars to be exactly the way they were on the night this old Magi Senfu went a tomb marking those 2,000 years ago, is for the entire planet to have gone back in time. You know, Doctor Strange What If Episode 4 style. And Steve and Khonshu used the moon and its relationship to gravity to do just that. So let's break down what happened here, my nerd babies. Because first, Khonshu tells Steve to copy the way his hands are positioned, with Steve positioning his arms kind of like Doctor Strange does when he uses the Time Stone. Preceded by this huge, amazing light show in the sky as this massive glowing purple ring appears wobbling super fast over everybody. Now, the biggest and most obvious question here is, what the hell is even this purple ring anyway? Well, that's the freaking moon, guys. Like, that's the moon. The purple ring is the moon. Like, for the second time this episode, Khonshu, the god of the moon, moved the moon. Not the sky, but the moon. Specifically for the purposes of moving the entire planet to the exact conditions that the universe was the night Senfu looked up at that night sky to mark Ammit's tomb. Because check out this moment when we get a zoom in on Steve's hand here. Because remember those weird purple glowing dots that appeared in the sky? Well, if you look closely, those are actually the phases of the freaking moon. A moon that is just moving really fast and that is specifically responding to even the slightest movements of Steven's fingers as he wields control of that moon. And the moon is moving around the planet in response to whatever the hell Khonshu is doing to the Earth's gravity to send the planet back in time. Because remember earlier in the episode when Khonshu first summons the Egyptian Council of the Gods by creating a freaking solar eclipse by moving the moon? The only way for Khonshu to do this is to somehow manipulate the way gravity works in relation to planet Earth to travel through time, much like I've suspected Doctor Strange does through the use of the Time Stone in What If. An Infinity Stone, which I have theorized in the past, is actually the MCU's Gravity Stone, due to gravity's relationship with space-time in the natural universe. Like, for example, the more gravity an object has, the slower time tends to move. Like, if you have not watched my video explaining how each Infinity Stone energy color represents a scientifically core aspect of our material universe, I highly recommend that you watch my first New Rockstars video on what I call the Marvel Trigger Theory to get more information on MCU gravity, because I really get into it more there. Spoiler alert, it's how Shang-Chi's mom and aunt look like they're airbending and shit. It's really cool stuff. Go check that video out. This video is brought to you by The Ridge. The Ridge wallet is light, sleek, and industrial, and it's designed to fit in your front pocket, unlike those bulky old school wallets that make you look like you're smuggling an 80s car phone in your back pocket. It's ridiculous. Check this out. nice and sleek. There are over 30 colors and styles, including carbon fiber and burnt titanium, and it holds up to 12 cards and still has room for cash in the back. And every Ridge wallet comes with a lifetime guarantee, and they'll let you test drive it for 45 days and send it back for a full refund if you don't love it, which you will. And the wallets have over 40,000 5-star reviews, and it's made with RFID blocking technology that protects you from digital pickpocketers. And they also have other cool products like this commuter backpack. It's weatherproof and great for toting around a laptop. And this month marks 9 years since the Ridge started, and they're celebrating with a special sale. So get 15% off today with free worldwide shipping and free returns by going to ridge.com/newrockstars. That's ridge.com/newrockstars and use the code newrockstars. Find the link in this video's description. And we thank Ridge again for sponsoring this video. If you remember, everything around animated Doctor Strange went back in time when he used the gravity manipulating time stone so that he could see Christine Palmer. So in that same respect, everything around Earth, like all the stars and planets and lights in the universe, everything went back in time as well. Everything but the people on Earth and Earth itself. That all being said, let's get into the consequences, because boy oh boy, there are gonna be some consequences for these shenanigans, because you can't make a whole planet go back in time, Khonshu, that's against the law. The biggest consequence of this moon god's meddling is of course the return of the Infinity Stones to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, because prior to the destruction in Avengers Endgame by Thanos off screen, the Infinity Stones have been around the universe since the beginning of the universe with the Big Bang. This being said, if the Earth is 2,000 years into the universe's past, the Infinity Stones should be exactly where they were those 2,000 years ago. The Power Stone should be on Morag, the Time Stone would likely be in possession of the Ancient One, the Tesseract would be in Odin's vault, the Ether would be hidden in King Bor's secret spot where Jane Foster found it in Thor 2, the Mind Stone would likely be in possession of the Chitauri, and the Soul Stone, of course, being the one exception due to its costly nature. So like, you know, you basically just have to forge that on Vormir. But luckily, this is still around 1,000 years before the very birth of Thanos, the Mad Titan himself. So, you know, that really won't be humanity's problem for a long while. But this does mean that Thanos is technically back on the table. Technically. Along with the resurrection of Thanos' homeworld of Titan, which, as we learn in Avengers Infinity War, was destroyed due to Titan's resource problem. So technically, Thanos' parents, Alars, who gets a shout out in Avengers Infinity War, and Sui-san might be alive as well. But you know, Rhodey's still probably gonna have to wait 1,000 years to become the choking hazard that he's always wanted to be. But moving on, Titan is of course not the only civilization returning to the MCU in this scenario, because the planet of Xandar should very much be restored after its destruction by the hands of Thanos in Infinity War. However, what's important to note here with Xandar is that this is before Xandar's war with the Kree, a war that would go on to last 1,000 years and of course kill a ton of Ronan the Accuser's ancestors, causing him to become a crazy religious zealot in 2014, which leads to the events of Guardians of the Galaxy. So it would appear that the Marvel Cinematic Universe is setting up the stage for their upcoming Nova project by bringing the full force of the Nova Corps back on the map. So maybe we're looking at a Nova Corps origin story with this new Nova project. That'd be dope. And maybe this time somebody from Earth could tip the Nova Corps off about that whole, I don't know, ego of the living planet problem, because the worst dad of all time that is an Omni-Man is back, baby. Because Ego the Living Planet is like a bajillion years old. Same with Malekith from Thor the Dark World. He's probably just out there sleeping, which I personally really love, because I truly do believe that Christopher Eccleston deserves another shot at this role, because Malekith is actually a super tragic character if you really think about it, because he's just trying to get rid of the colonizers. Basically, cosmic Killmonger. And of course, the realm of Asgard returns to the MCU as well, as it is now several centuries before Surtur would destroy the entire land during the events of Thor Ragnarok. So I don't foresee the people of New Asgard staying in Tonsberg, Norway for much longer after the events of Thor Love and Thunder, when they could be big ballin' back on the Bifrost Bridge. Why would you not do that? I wouldn't want to live like a peasant when I could be eating grapes amongst the unicorns in the sky, watching the peasants on Midgard suffer with taxes. But this, unfortunately, means the return of the baddest chick the MCU has ever seen, Hela, the goddess of death. Because as of this point in MCU history, she is still being imprisoned by Odin, the Allfather. Actually, kind of freshly imprisoned, sort of just happened around this time. An Allfather who should be now seated on the throne of Asgard, all the way up on the physical realm of Asgard, completely unaware that King Valkyrie rules another Asgard on Earth. So could we be looking at a multiversal Asgardian war between these two variant Asgards? It would be pretty cool. It would be kind of sad, but it would be pretty cool. Will King Valkyrie have to fight the very Valkyrie sisters that she drowned herself in liquor on Sakaar to forget because they're all back too. Like, they didn't get killed by Hela until 950 AD, and this is like way before that. But one of the biggest consequences of this rewind has got to be Earth's apparent disappearance from space entirely from the perspective of everyone who wasn't on Earth when Steve and Khonshu sent Earth back in time. Which means potentially that Thor, the Guardians of the Galaxy, and the Eternals kidnapped by Arishem could return to an Earthless Milky Way in their timeline because Khonshu and Steve moved the Earth back in time, effectively branching the MCU into two main timelines, one with an Earth and one without an Earth at all, which, you know, might come in handy if Arishem doesn't like what Cersei's memories have to say and wants to destroy Earth. And he just comes back and is like, oh shoot, there's no Earth. Never mind. I guess we'll go. But anyways, that is what I think the biggest consequences are from this super crazy episode of Moon Knight, which I think is on par with the snap. Like, this is a huge event in MCU history. I mean, it could be anyway. I mean, I obviously could be wrong. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you guys think that we went back in time? Let us know in the comment section. I want to know what you guys think. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. You can follow me at MasterTainment on Twitter if you want to see me tweet some really weird shit and really fun theories. But most importantly, you can follow New Rockstars wherever we are on social media. And when you do on YouTube, make sure you hit that notification bell so that you can get notifications whenever we upload a video. And of course, hit up newrockstarsmerch.com so that you can get our really cool latest Obsession Moon Knight shirt, because it's not going to last forever, people. It's not. People always complain like, hey, oh, what happened to the Loki shirts? Oh, what happened to the other shirts, Spider-Man shirts? Guys, these don't last forever. Please. I can't help you if they go, okay? Just go get them, because this is my favorite shirt. But again, thank you guys so much for spending time with me. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.